All right, Unit 5, Day 3, we're going to be adding, subtracting, and multiplying monomials. That is your learning target. I can add, subtract, and multiply monomials, even though it's not coming out perfectly for me. Polynomial. We're going to be looking at numbers and variables being added or subtracted. Binomial would be two terms. Now, for instance, it could be an x minus 5, maybe it's a y squared plus 2, but there are two distinct terms that aren't being combined. Those would be a binomial. And a trinomial would be three terms. For instance, x squared minus 2x plus 1, something on that line. Another thing I'd like to talk about before we get into this too much is like terms. All right, so with like terms, we are looking at same letter and same power. Those would be considered like terms, and you can add and subtract the numbers in front at that point and keeping that power. We'll talk more about that when it happens. And then descending order, basically what we have is the highest powered letter to the lower powered letters to the regular number by itself. And that's how we're going to do it in descending order, highest power to lowest power to number. So let's go to the simple addition of like terms first. Like terms, we are going to look at the x squared, and it's going to be combined with another x squared. So when I look at this, I have parentheses, I have the addition, so I should actually rewrite it as 3x squared minus 4x plus 8, and then plus all these. That means these will keep the same sign, a positive 2x, a minus 7x squared, and the minus 5. So like terms, x squared with the other x squared. Add and subtract the numbers in front of the x squares. In this case, it's 3 minus 7, or negative 4x squared. And then I'll look at my x's. So a negative 4x and a plus 2x. That'll give me a minus 2x. And then my numbers, 8 and a minus 5 is a plus 3. All right, notice that I add or subtract the numbers in front of the x squares, add and subtract the numbers in front of x's, add or subtract the numbers by itself. Also notice this is in descending order. X squared is the highest power, x to the first, and then the number. That is descending order. All right, this next one here, we have a plus sign, which does not change that parentheses at all. So the parentheses actually were not even necessary. And so we have adding this whole thing. So it's a plus 2 minus 4y and a plus 5y squared. Combining my like terms, that means my y squares, add or subtract the numbers in front. So 7 and 5 is 12y squared. And then add or subtract my y's. So 2 minus 4 is negative 2y's. And then the numbers is a negative 1. Again, plus sign meaning that this whole parentheses will not change, so we don't need that parentheses. So it'll be a plus 5y squared, a plus 8, and a minus 6y. Combine my like terms. So I would have 5y squared and another 5y, that's 5 plus 5, it's 10y squares together. My y's added together, so a negative 5y, and then subtract 6y is a negative 11y, keeping the same y value. And then the plus 8, there's no other number to add to it, so I'll leave it like so. All right, the last one with an addition sign, we have the negative 8x squared plus 3x to the fourth minus 7, and then that whole parentheses stays the same. Combine them with your, oops, I should take that one back. Looks like I have my x to the fourth should be my first one stated. So 3x to the fourth plus 2 more x to the fourth gives me 5 of them. And then I have my x squares, negative 8 of them, and 7 of them gives me a negative 1 of them. And then just the numbers, minus 12, when I go negative 7, minus 5. All right, this next one, you'll notice that we have a minus sign, which means I'm subtracting that entire parentheses. It does not affect the first parentheses, so I'll just rewrite this one as it is written. And then I have the minus 7n and the minus 4n cubed. combine my n cubes together. So it looks like I'd have 13 and minus 4 is 9 of them. And then I have my n squared, so just or 3 of them. And then combine my n's to get a minus 2n. Alright, next one here. Again, a minus sign, which would be changing the signs of all 3 items in the second parentheses. The first parentheses stayed the same. Minus 9y to the 4th plus 7y and a minus 2y squared. Highest power goes first. So an 8 and a minus 9 of them gives me a minus 1 of them. Don't need the 1. And then it looks like y squares will be next. So I have 6 of them, subtract 2 of them, gives me 4 of them. And then my regular y is a minus 5 and a plus 7 is a plus 2y. Alright, next one here. Subtraction sign changes all the signs. So this first one stays the same. And then that 6 becomes a minus 6, a plus 7n cubed, and a minus 6n squared, changing the signs of all 3 of them. Combining my highest power first. So it looks like it's the 2n cubed and the 7n cubed is 9. N cubed, keeping the same. N squared, looks like I have just the one n squared, so it's minus 6n squared. And then the numbers is a minus 9. Alright, last one on this page, change all the signs in front there. So negative 4x to the 3rd minus 2x minus 8. And then we have a plus 3, a plus 8x, and a minus 2x cubed. Combining my x cubes, looks like I have a minus 4 and a minus 2, which is a minus 6x cubed. Combining my x's is a plus 6x. And then my numbers, minus 5. Alright, that's it for that page. Now let's look at this next page here. Alright, we have a perimeter of a triangle is 28, and then the lengths are 9 and 7. Alright, so let's remember, perimeter of any shape is just adding up all the sides. So if I had side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3, I just add them up and that's the whole perimeter. If I know the perimeter is 28 and I figure that one of the sides is 9, the other side is 7, and the last side is unknown, I'll put an x. So we add these together, so it would be 28 equals 16 plus x, and then subtract 16 to both sides. Now intuitively, you probably could have figured this out without doing it algebraically, but if you looked at the next problem, it's not going to be done intuitively. So the answer is 12 equals x. Alright, so same general idea, but now we're looking at using letters all over the place. Makes it messy. So same idea again. The perimeter of a triangle is side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. So the perimeter is 37s plus 42. Be careful with your s's. One of the sides is 14s plus 16. The other side is a plus 10s plus 20. And then the last one we'll put as x, so plus x. So let us combine our like terms on the one side. So rewriting it as 37s plus 42. Combining my 14 and my 10 to get 24s. Combining my numbers, 16 and 20 is a plus 36, and then plus the side that I don't know is x. Subtract 24s to both sides. I would also subtract 36 to both sides at the same time. I think you're about ready for that. So we get 13s plus 6 equals the unknown side. Same idea on this next one here. We got the perimeter of a triangle equals side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. So that's side 1, side 2, and side 3 I'll put as an x. So I'm going to have 5x to the third plus 3x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals side 1, which is x plus 4, plus side 2, which looks like 2x squared minus 4x. And this one I better not use x's, maybe I'll use y, plus y. Don't want to use x because we don't know that that side is just a single x or not. Alright, combine my like terms on this side here. Looks like x squared, so it's going to be equal to 2x squared. Combine my x's, which would be a minus 3x plus 4 and plus the side that I'm looking for, let's say y. So I will subtract 2x squared to both sides, cancels. I will add 3x to both sides, cancels. I will subtract 4 to both sides, cancels. So I'm going to get 5x cubed plus x minus 1x. Just forgot the x right there. And minus 9 equals the unknown side. Don't need the 1 there if you don't want it. Like so. So y equals the 1 side. Alright, we're going to look at distributive property now. Distributive property, again, is you take whatever's in front of the parentheses and you will multiply it throughout the parentheses. So a times b plus a times c. Of course, if there was a subtraction sign, that would affect there too. So, with this very first one, distribute, it will be x times x, which is x squared, and x times 1, which is 1x. This one, next one looks like a negative y is being multiplied throughout, so it's going to be a negative 2, y times y is y squared, and negative times negative is positive 6y. Next one, distribute, progressively gets harder. B squared times 2b squared, so b squared times b squared is b to the fourth, add the exponents. B squared times a minus 4b is going to be a minus 4 to the third, b to the third. And then b squared times a minus 9 is a minus 9b squared. This one here, distribute the x throughout, so it's going to be x times 3x squared, which is going to be 3x to the third. X times a minus 2x is a minus 2x times x squared. And x times a 5 is a plus 5x. Alright, next one here. Distribute the 6y, it means multiply the 6 times the numbers, and y increase them by 1 power, it looks like. So 6 times 4 is going to be 24. Y times y cubed is y to the third. 6 times 9 is a minus 54. Y times y is y squared. And 6y times a minus 7 is a minus 42. and then just y. Alright, this one here, distribute the 3 throughout to get 3t squared minus 12t minus 45, and then distribute the positive 6t throughout to get a positive 30t squared, and then 6t times 12 is a plus 72t. Combining your like terms, 3t squared plus 30t squared is 33t squared. Combining your t's is going to be minus 12 plus 72 is a plus 60t, and then minus 45. Alright, last page, we have equations. So on this one here, let's distribute the 3 throughout. So, in distributing the 3 throughout, you get 3d minus 12 minus 8 equals, distributing the 5 throughout, you would get 25d plus 5 and then the minus 3. I'd probably combine your like terms here to get 3d minus 20. Combining your like terms here, I'd get 25d plus 2. Getting d's on one side, I'm going to choose to put it on the right side. It gives me a positive result of d's. So negative 20 equals 22d plus the 2. Subtract 2 to both sides, you would get negative 22 equals 22d, and then divide by 22. Cancels, gives you negative 1 equals d. Alright, last example it looks like. Distribute the b throughout, you'll get b times 2, which is 2b, and then b times b is a b squared minus 7 equals 2b. Distribute, gives us a minus 4b plus b squared. Combining your like terms, I don't see any like terms to be combined. So in this case, the b squares better cancel out on both sides, which they do. Because we don't know how to do those problems quite yet, but you will at some point this year. Oh, and I should combine those. Minus 2b. And those canceled. Alright, at this point, I would actually subtract 2b to both sides. Now, I don't like to have negatives, but in this case, it gets the minus 4b on one side by itself. So divide by negative 4. You get 7 fourths, positive 7 fourths equals b. So, for our summary, combine like terms. In other words, same letter, same power are like terms. Add or subtract the numbers in front of those like terms. Keep that same power. Okay, don't keep that power the same. And then also put it in descending order. In other words, x cubed plus x squared plus x plus 1. Alright, where that is just a number at the end. Alright, and then also, let's just look at a simple review question. If I had x cubed times x squared times x to the 4th, I would add the exponents. 3 plus 2 plus 4. And you get x to the 9th. Okay, there you go.